Hello, welcome to our first live lunch, and today we're joined by Lizzy.
Hello, thank you for joining.
So Lizzy manages our Birmingham primary and secondary team, as well as running a busy primary desk in the south of Birmingham. We've been working here for 4 years now.
Yeah, just over. I'll be going into my 5th year.
And thank you for agreeing to join us on our first live lunch.
Thank you for letting me be.
If you have any questions at all, please just type them into the chat, and Ellis is here too, and we will try to answer them. But I've got a couple of questions for you in the meantime.
Okay, fabulous, I'm ready to go.
So, Lizzy, we just mentioned that you've been here for 4 years. What actually made you go into recruitment?
So I started by going to university. I have a degree in human geography, and once I qualified, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, hence why I did that degree. I was always told about the transferable skills I would get, and I seen the job from Flourish, and I applied and came and interviewed. And actually, on my first interview round, I wasn't successful.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's a joke, running joke now in the office. And then a couple of months later, we had another opening, and Grant promised that if he ever had anything else, he'd get back in contact with me. And it was from there. So I started a couple of months after that, and I've been here ever since.
Well, so is the person that Grant offered the job to the first time round still working here?
No.
Oh, okay. So a wise decision then to invite you back. And what is human geography?
So it's geography, but without the mountains and the rivers. So it's all the human side of it, so people and their placement and stuff like that.
Oh, like demographics, like cities and urban planning and things.
Yeah, and wild and wonderful things. We did geography of football, and it also had to cheap trip to France as well at one point. So it was worth it.
Lovely, nice. So when you came into Flourish, did you start as a manager or?
No, I actually started right as a trainee recruitment consultant, and I did that for a couple of years, and then worked my way up like a mentor, a buddy, and then the role of team leader sort of came into play. And then from there started to manage a very small team, and then moved up to where I am now, section manager with a big team.
Fantastic. So now, as you're being section manager and running your busy desk, what's the best part of your job?
Oh, it's really hard. I love both of it. I love both sides, and I always say to the team, like, they're like my main priority as well. So making sure that they're all up and running, and I love seeing them succeed and hit their targets and get where they want to be. I can really feel that because I've done their job. I think that's a really important trait to have as a manager. I've been in their shoes, I can really empathise with it. But then equally on the other side, I love watching our Flourish champions go out to work and working with all our amazing schools. And at the moment, I'm liking doing a bit of both.
Good. But it's lovely to be able to do the management but still be doing the job, because I suppose it's easier to show people by example.
Yeah, 100%. And I think I can always say to them and sit down with them and go, well, I've been in that situation, this is how I dealt with it, and actually really give them hands-on experience and knowledge. And I think sometimes might forget that I've been in their shoes and I've been that fresh-faced new person coming through the door and not knowing anybody. So it's good.
Good. So one of our core values is that success is achieved as a collective, and I think it's something that the whole company believes in.
Yeah, massively.
So why do you think we have such a strong collective team?
So I think it always comes from top down in our business. So Grant's a brilliant role model and has always had that instilled in all of us as we start, and every person that starts the Flourish journey as a trainee will always say the whole team's massively on board with them and will support their progress, even if they're in a different team, even if they're in our back office. Everybody wants everybody to succeed here, and we can't grow as a business unless we all have our hands on together.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been here for it'll be a year on Tuesday, and it's blown me away by how beautiful the team is. It has, hasn't it? Yeah.
No, it is, and everybody's so lovely on a personal level and a professional level. Everyone's got your best interests at heart, and you can always have a chat with somebody.
Yeah, it's nice like that.
Yeah.
So everyone who works at Flourish HQ, once they've passed the probation, works 4.5 days a week, but obviously still gets paid for 5. So what do you do on your half day?
So it varies really. So sometimes I just like to catch up on the errands in the house. So it might be, you know me, I love to go home and say, put the washing out on the line when it's sunny, but then also just catching up on appointments, going swimming. And then sometimes it just gives me that breathing space if I do just want to catch up a bit of admin from home, work-wise, that I've just got that quiet space to be able to do it.
What about binge watching on Netflix?
Sometimes, at the moment, I'm trying to squeeze in the Kardashians, but I keep getting not enough time to do that, and it's always to see something to do in the house. I'm jumping on that at the moment.
Right. Okay. So does Sam like the Kardashians, or is that something that you do try and do by yourself?
I have to do that by myself. It's not allowed together.
So we have discussed this. So you manage obviously the Birmingham primary and secondary teams,
Yes.
and running your own desk. So how do you actually balance that fine line between your desk and the priorities in that, and then obviously the team and the team needing you?
Yeah, so I think you have to be super organised. So I always have to have my plan ready for the following week, Friday before, and then I install it in the team as well to go in every situation prepared. And also just prioritising and also delegating. So the team are really great and they can help out when I'm not here, or if they need to take a bit on something extra, if someone needs extra support, then they're really good at doing that. And without them, the team wouldn't run as smoothly as it does.
Yeah, you've got a lovely team. I do like sitting next to you. So you're known throughout, not just your team, but throughout the whole company, as always being positive. So what's your secret to always maintaining like positivity? Because sometimes I even struggle with that.
Yeah, I think it's something we all struggle with, and I think it is something I struggle with. And I think one thing that me and Joe came up with a joke before was posy vibes, and that's something we always will shout about in the office if someone's maybe in a bit of a grump or if they're having a bad day, because not every day is going to be an amazing day. But we always say find something good within that day, and if you've got that positive mindset, you'll attract positivity back as well. And having that solution mindset and going into problems that way will always stand you in better stead.
Yeah, I like that. I will adopt some of those suggestions. Thank you. So you're on annual leave yesterday.
What?
So what were you doing yesterday?
So I took my grandparents who don't actually live in Birmingham, I took them out for afternoon tea, which was really lovely. So I got to spend the day with them, and I also did a cheeky B&M shopping in the morning.
Nice, skillful. So where do your grandparents live?
Lincolnshire.
Oh, okay. So they drove down just for the day?
Yeah, they're down for the week. So we're doing some stuff over the weekend as well. But I had some annual leave left over, and I thought it would be nice to come and spend that day with them. It was lovely. They come over to the house, so I showed them the house because they've not seen it yet.
Of course, yeah.
And we had the sunshine, so yesterday we got to sit in the garden. But of course, it started raining after about 20 minutes. But they still got to sit in it for a little bit.
British summertime. So, afternoon tea with them?
Yes.
Lots of cake?
Lots of cake. Too much cake. I did bring some home and shared it. I wasn't too greedy, but yeah.
Oh, it's nice to spend time with your family, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
So, obviously, you're a recruiter. So if you could pick one role that you're currently recruiting for, what would it be that you can tell people who are watching today about it?
So one that really springs to mind for me at the moment would be a teaching role I'm recruiting for. School in South Birmingham near the Worcestershire border, and they're looking to welcome Key Stage 1 teacher to their team from September. It's actually a full-time role, 5 days a week for the full academic year, and they want someone to work in either year 1 or year 2. They've got that flexibility. It's a smaller school, which is nice, as some of the class sizes are smaller, which I know is quite attractive. And they've got a really family culture in that school, but also very invested in their staff and their staff's well-being as well. So from somewhere you'd want to apply and go around and get that feel, it's something when people do go to work there, I always have really good feedback about it.
It's so funny, isn't it? You just sometimes walk into a school. I know it's me as a mother walking into a school and just feeling those vibes. It's nice. So obviously we do mainly supply, or you do mainly supply. So what are the benefits that you would find for somebody if they were thinking of going to, like, moving over to supply? What would you say the benefits are of working supply?
Yeah, I think there's lots of benefits. And I think the main one is always it's in your hands and it's your decision. So I have people join me that want to do that flexible day-to-day supply that suits them. So they might change their availability every single week, depending on, let's say, when they've got childcare, when they've not got childcare, or if they're responsible for caring for family members, whatever your situation may be, that works for them. But equally, you also welcome people that want to like leave a permanent position and maybe just try supply, but are open to doing full-time work because we have full-time opportunities available, maybe where a school struggle to recruit for that position or it's like a longer term absence. And that's good because it's your decision. We offer those opportunities at the moment.
And I know something that has been really helpful for ECTs. They like the varied work. If people aren't too sure what year group or what kind of school setting to go into.
Yeah, I think that's really important because so many ECTs now come to me and say, I'm not sure what I want to do, and that's absolutely okay. I remember when I left university and I was like, go get a job, and I was like, I'm not 100% what I want to do, and obviously I've taken the pathway off now, and it gives them that chance to not only try different things, so maybe like different year groups that they've not done before, but it also allows you the opportunity to try different schools before applying there, because sometimes you can get a feel when you go in there straight away, but actually being in there for the full day or let's say a couple of weeks will give you that true feel. And off the back of that, sometimes as well, placements become available and schools will say we want this person and they'll find a way to have them, which is really good.
Yeah, it's always nice to feel needed, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So are there any additional benefits? So obviously most of those you get if you just work for any supply agency, but what do you think? Obviously you're a champion of Flourish. What do you think the benefits are of working directly for us rather than a different agency? What do we offer? Yeah,
so I think as a smaller business, I feel like we've always got that local feel and that personal feel. So you'd always get your own dedicated consultant here that will only manage schools within your geographical area and areas that you would probably want to work, which is really good. But that's also it's not just restricted to that. So if you did want to travel the length and breadth of Birmingham or the West Midlands, we have consultants that cover all of that, and you can go to any sort of school within that. But equally, if you only say, I want to work within a 4 to 3 mile radius, that's fine. And the consultants all have local knowledge, all are local themselves. So I grew up in this area, I know this area like the back of my hand. I've always lived here all my life, so I've got that knowledge and that understanding of the schools and the communities, and similar for other consultants as well. So like Glen and Worcestershire, we've got that across the business.
Yeah,
and it's nice.
Do you work with the primary school that you went to? Or is it?
Yes, both of them.
Oh, that's lovely. Are there any teachers still there?
There are. I've got teachers that work for me that taught me as well.
Oh, that's lovely.
I know it is a thing in each of them to look back on things. So, yeah, really good.
See, I'm learning all new things about going to Lizzy.
I know.
So, when people are choosing a recruitment agency, whether that's a teacher or a teaching assistant or even a school, and they were looking for a recruitment partner, what do you think the types of things they should be looking at to make a decision as to which agency or partner they want to go with?
Yeah, I think we're in a world now where the first thing everybody does before they go anywhere, before you go to a restaurant, you're going to go look at that menu online. You're going to look at the reviews, whether it's TripAdvisor, whether it's Google, and it's exactly the same with an agency. Yeah. So check out those reviews. So Google's a really good place to look. And also you've got different platforms to look at the social medias, what's going on there. I think you can get a really good feel for a company by looking at those sorts of things. And then the biggest one for us as well is word of mouth. So what are people saying about us? So if you've got a staff member in your school that's working through Flourish, have a chat with them and how they find their agency, and then they'll let you know. And also speaking in between themselves as well about, oh, well, they've actually listened to me, they've got me work where I wanted work, and they listen to me for the requirements that I have. Yeah,
well, I mean, I've been reading some of your reviews recently, like you clearly do go above and beyond for your champions.
Yeah, I've had some really lovely reviews written, and I'm always forever grateful for that. And there's nothing more that I love than putting somebody into work and they've got exactly what they wanted. Because I think it can be quite nerve-wracking sometimes coming into supply for the first time, and a lot of time people are taking a risk or taking a plunge into something they've not done before, and it's nice to see that pay off and for them to be pleased with that.
Yeah, great. So obviously going back to my question in terms of what you should be looking for, we're with the CCS framework and we're also APSCO accredited. Do you think it's important to look for an agency that's a member of the trade, like of the trade body?
Yeah, 100%. So as an agency, we have to work so hard to even be awarded a space on these trade bodies and organisations, and to hold that compliance plus mark for us is really important from APSCO. And with that, we have to jump through so many hoops in terms of safeguard, in terms of protocol, work procedures, and it gives you that assurance that this company does a really good job and they're on it with everything. Like our compliance team have worked so hard to get that accreditation, along with the front-facing consultants too. And then with the CCS framework, they are a government-backed body, so it's backed by the Department for Education. So I think that says a lot for itself to have a space on that.
Yeah, no, it's, yeah, I know that everybody within the team are incredibly proud to be part of the CCS framework, and also obviously being, audited by the APSCO Compliance Plus.
Yeah, definitely.
So we've obviously just mentioned your role that you wanted to shout out about today, but what are the current roles are you recruiting for?
So I'm recruiting across the board really. So I've got multiple teaching vacancies. I've got some more in South Birmingham, Longridge area, that I've got school that are looking for Key Stage 1 and a Key Stage 2 teacher for September starts, and they are open 3 CTs and potentially looking at supporting that as well, which a lot of people will be looking for at the moment. Teaching assistant wise, I've got some class support roles over at a school here closer to Blueberry, and they're looking at taking multiple TAs on for various long-term positions as well. From September. Yeah, these are all from September. And then I've also got some school administrative positions, one that's part-time, one that's full-time as well.
Okay, so if you were an ECT or a teaching assistant or a teacher looking for work for September, what would you tell them? What would your advice be if they wanted to work for us? How would they get in touch with us?
So best way to get in touch with us to start with is either give us a call.
What's the number?
It's 0121 423 3557.
Said that a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, it's ingrained in my memory forever now. So give us a call and we'll be able to redirect you. So if the consultant's not available, they will get back in contact with you. So potentially if you're not looking for work in South Birmingham, but you're looking for work across the West Midlands, I can put you in touch with another consultant to be able to help you that's more dedicated to that area. But also if you go onto our website, we have a sign up link that you can go on, pop in your details, and that alerts us and we'll get in contact with you straight away.
We've got all the vacancies listed as well, so if they find a specific job, they can just apply direct.
Best way to have a look, and you can still get a feel, and then if you ring up, you can also get any extra information that you might have that's not on there.
Right, thank you. So we obviously take compliance and safeguarding extremely seriously. We've gained 100% in our APSCO Compliance Plus audit for the last 2 years. Again, something that Tony and the compliance team have worked extremely hard to get. And it shows that we do have best practice in education recruitment. Can you briefly explain the recruitment process and put you on the spot now to whoever's listening and today, just to give them a better understanding of, so if they've just contacted us via the website or they've just rang up, what's the next steps for them?
Of course. So if you, let's say, if you've got an inquiry to the website, we will have a look at that internally and we'll push that to the consultant. That would be best to contact you in terms of geographical area. They'll get in contact with you and have a quick informal chat with you just about specifically what you're looking for, and they can start job matching with you from that point, giving you information on roles they've got in local schools and sort of getting a really good idea of what you might be looking for. After that point, it's just building up your work and employment history background, and we will then look at sending you an application form. So we've gone completely digital now. We've gone paperless, haven't we, as much as we can as a business. So that gets sent through to your phone or your email, and you can do it on any device that you wish.
Yeah, tablet, iPad, anything.
It's really simple. And you just click into it and it will run through all the different bits, like any application form that you'd fill in. And there's even a space at the bottom to start uploading documents. So you haven't got to worry about putting them into an email. So
no, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I know sometimes when you're using Apple and emailing that way, it doesn't log too many attachments. So that's handy. That then gets brought back to us and through to our compliance team, who'll just have a quick look over and just make sure everything you've sent over is correct. And now they'll work hard in the background getting references back and doing any DBS checks, or if you need to do any safeguarding training, they'll get yourself on that free of charge, as well as through an HGM as well. Then it's once your references back and you've done a video interview with the consultant, just going through your documents and also through some questions based around your experience. We can then potentially look to get you out to work, and you'll go what we call live in our system, which means you can then be put into any positions that you're offered. Something
we haven't mentioned is what happens if you work once you work 10 days for us. What do people automatically get?
You automatically get that £100 bonus.
Yeah, so that's we hadn't thought about that, had we? But yeah, that's always a welcome.
Yeah, it is, and it's so nice for sometimes people forget about it. You tell them when they sign up and you automatically forget, don't you? And they'll go, we've been overpaid. I'm like, no, that's all yours. You go and spend it.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to be able to do that. It just shows how much we appreciate the people that do work for us and represent our company so well.
Yeah, and how it's automatically paid. It's not like you need to
Yeah,
chase
you
it.
don't have to chase for it. Once it's payrolled, it just goes straight through, which is nice and easy.
Yeah, perfect. Now, I was watching one of your videos on LinkedIn earlier this week, and I loved it. So it was about giving top tips for what supply teachers should do on the first day of supply in a new school.
Yeah.
So can we run through like maybe 5 of your top tips now?
Yeah, of course. So I think, as you can tell, I'm an organised person. First thing first, preparation is key. So we will always send you over the details in whatever means you want. You'll always get an official confirmation via email, but we can also sort of send you a message with details too. Check the school before you go. Check it on Google Maps, check your route, because one route at one time won't be different to another time.
You can now put, do you know that you can
Yes.
actually put what time you're planning on leaving, so you can even make sure that you and then it can estimate how long it's going to take you in the morning.
It'll give you the best route, and sometimes you might figure out that actually you've got a friend that lives around the corner from there and you already know the best route. Then you can also check on like the school website. You can look at policies and procedures, and also some key contacts too, just so if you are walking around, then you'll know who you're looking for, and we'll always tell you the contact once you arrive as well. Then what I would always say is arrive a little earlier. 100% the best practice. Once you get there, they'll run through directly their safeguarding procedures and stuff like that. Take your DBS and photo ID off you, get that saved onto their central records, and then it also gives you a chance to familiarise yourself with the school. Every school is different, has a different layout, so you want to know where the toilets are, where the staff room is, and where you'll be based for that day. When you are in the school, just be super friendly to everybody that you meet. And again, with the preparation, I always say take along with you a pencil case, some resources for different key stages in terms of primary, and also a water bottle. So many times I've spoken to school and they say, well, actually, we don't sell plastic anymore. We use the bottles. So are always a really good thing to have, and it means you can stay hydrated throughout the day. Yep. When you're finished, make sure you've got hand over the teacher that you've been working with, and also follow their marking procedures and make sure that's all done. And then as you leave, go and ask the person who's booked you in for that day if they need anybody tomorrow, and also just to thank them for the day as well and leave that good impression of yourself.
I think if you've enjoyed being in the school and you genuinely have enjoyed being in the school, then I think it's always nice for them to maybe tell whoever's booked how much they've enjoyed the time in the school and the class.
Everybody appreciates feedback. So as much as I love giving feedback to the champions that work for us about how they've got on that school and passed on to me, because our schools are really good at doing that, it's also good to give them feedback too, because then they can then go to the class the next day and tell that class teacher that the class have done amazing, and the children will love that, and it keeps that positive behaviour going there.
No, definitely. Well, thanks, Lizzy.
No, you're all out of questions for me.
I am all out of questions. Alice, is there any questions? There's no questions. Well, I think we've done pretty well.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I'd just say is if you want to get in contact with me for primary work in South Birmingham, you can contact me directly. I'll give you the number again, 0121423 3557, or just pop an inquiry through to the website and we can redirect it if we need to. And
Alice, are you going to tag Lizzy into this now, so in the comments or something, so also they can follow you on, they can connect with you on LinkedIn? That'd be nice.
This will be the last day on LinkedIn takeover for Flourish, but I'd say that for my own LinkedIn.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking over our LinkedIn.
Thank you.
We really appreciated it.
All right, then.
You've made the marketing team's life a lot easier. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.